Scientists just discovered an interstellar object that stops moving for 6 hours, and the math says that should never happen. It races through the inner solar system at about 38 km relative to the Sun, but it hits a window where its motion on the sky flatlines like someone presses pause. And that pause doesn't come from a rumor or a resized screenshot. It shows up in raw telescope frames, which means the universe itself signs the receipt. And it gets worse, because this stop feels personal when you remember what a telescope actually records. Every photon that lands on that sensor starts its journey before Earth even exists. But this batch arrives carrying a contradiction that looks deliberate. You expect an interstellar visitor to blaze through, bend around the Sun, and leave forever, but this one stalls for 360 minutes, as if space gives it permission to hover. According to Newton and Einstein, an object coasting through space never just hits zero without a force, but the data shows a force that appears from nowhere. Picture a bowling ball rolling downhill, then hovering mid-slope for 6 straight hours. Here's the crazy part. The hill never flattens. Gravity doesn't turn off, the sun doesn't blink, and the clock doesn't forgive. For 6 months, the Atlas follow-up team tears into the anomaly with the kind of paranoia that keeps reputations intact, but the anomaly survives everything they throw at it. They blame a bad clock, but a second observatory stamps the same pause within 0.2 seconds. They blame a tracking bug, but the star field stays razor-sharp, while only the object freezes. They blame Earth's rotation, but the freeze shows up from separate sites at separate longitudes. Then they look at the data one last time, and the pause lines up with a single point in space like a bullseye, like something waits there that can hold an interstellar visitor. That's when the orbit fit flips from weird to impossible. The object earns the designation 3I Atlas because its trajectory screams hyperbolic. It doesn't loop around the sun like a normal comet. It slings in and leaves for good. The best fit solution lands near an eccentricity of about 1.2 and a perihelion around 0.74 AU, but the residuals show a non-gravitational acceleration spike that peaks near 0.03 ms2. And that spike lasts almost exactly 21,600 seconds, 6 hours, like someone schedules it on a calendar. It doesn't just drift wrong, it drifts wrong on time. But here's what breaks them. If that spike points even loosely opposite the direction of travel, it implies thrust without a visible plume. Momentum still balances somewhere, however the energy source hides in plain sight. And if the source hides, the stops looking like physics failing and starts looking like engineering. So the team backs away from drama and runs the ugly practical consequences. A 0.03 ms2 push sustained for 6 hours shifts the predicted position by thousands of kilometers on the next track. That turns a tight 10-kilometer aiming box into a 10,000-kilometer guessing game. And that's not just academic. An interceptor plan that might work on a clean ephemeris suddenly becomes a coin toss. And a coin toss at interstellar speeds doesn't feel like science. It feels like gambling. Not everyone buys the premise, but the loudest skeptic aims straight for geometry. Dr. Lena Park at the JPL Dynamics desk snaps, "A 6-hour stop screams geometry, not aliens. Show me one independent dataset that survives parallax." Then she twists the knife. The universe doesn't break for our drama. However, the independent dataset already exists, and it refuses to behave like a geometry trick. One piece stays unexplained even after they run every parallax and pipeline test. A brightness dip that hits at exactly 03:17 UTC and recovers at 09:17 UTC, like someone rotates a mirror away and then rotates it back. The light curve drops by 1.8 magnitudes without fragmenting, without a dust tail, and without a coma. Here's the crazy part. The dip synchronizes with the stop down to the minute, as if the same mechanism controls both. So the response turns global because one telescope can lie to you, but a planet full of telescopes can trap you with consistency. A coordinated network schedules 17 telescopes across 6 continents to catch the next predicted anomaly window, but the peak visibility window lasts only 12 minutes. If the freeze repeats, the story upgrades from odd rock to active object. But if it doesn't repeat, then the pause hides in our instruments, our assumptions, or our timing. And nobody wants to admit the third option. Now it becomes your turn to pressure test the story. If you watch an object freeze for 6 hours, do you call that thrust or do you call that perspective? And if the brightness drops by 1.8 magnitudes at the exact same time, do you still blame a camera clock? Poll in the comments. Natural, artificial, data artifact. Pick one and defend it in one sentence, because I pinned the sharpest theory. But the team doesn't wait for opinions. They attack the mechanism. Atlas doesn't stare. It sweeps, and that wide view makes tiny motion obvious. The pipeline subtracts static stars and flags anything that shifts between frames separated by 30 seconds. And 3i Atlas pops immediately because it moves like a nearby object while arriving from a direction that doesn't match any bound orbit. However, the stop appears exactly when the subtraction expects motion and gets none. The weird part isn't one still frame. The weird part is 720 still frames in a row, which means the freeze doesn't wink, it holds. So they test the most humiliating alternative. Maybe the object doesn't stop. Maybe it moves straight toward us, so its sideways motion vanishes. That trick can erase apparent motion, but a head-on sprint should spike radial velocity in spectroscopy. The spectra don't show the matching spike, but the astrometry still shows the stall. However, the stall aligns with a patch of sky only about 0.03D wide, like a doorway in the starfield. And that doorway sits near a gravitational quiet zone where competing pulls partially cancel. Yet cancellation never produces a clean stop on a hyperbolic path. So they compute the force budget to fake the pause from roughly 1 AU away, and the number lands in the uncomfortable middle, too big to handwave, too small to shout. Then they grind through 3 natural explanations and 2 collapse fast. Explanation 1, outgassing jets, but a jet leaves a coma and infrared limits cap gas output far below what a 0.03 ms2 push demands. Explanation 2, fragmentation, but fragmentation shreds the light curve into chaos, and this curve stays clean except for that single 1.8 magnitude dip. Explanation 3, radiation pressure, but radiation pressure only works if the area-to-mass ratio goes extreme. Here's the crazy part. The ratio needed implies something thinner than about 0.5 millimeters if the object spans even 70 meters. That's like a football field of material with the thickness of a credit card, drifting between stars without shredding. But nature sometimes builds daredevils, so they pull the only real precedent that makes sense and find that it makes the story worse. Oumuamua shows non-gravitational acceleration with no obvious coma, but it never stops. 2i Borisov behaves like a normal comet, but it never hides its gas. 3i Atlas mixes the worst of both. Invisible thrust plus a timed pause. However, the direction of the thrust matters, and the vector points suspiciously close to the sun-to-object line, like the object uses sunlight as a handle. That forces the next test, because reflectivity can turn rock into sheet instantly. The first polarimetry pass lands like a punch. Polarization jumps by about 4x during the freeze window, which screams flat surfaces or aligned grains. But high-resolution imaging still keeps the object compact. However compact plus highly polarized acts like a structured skin, not a fluffy cloud. Then a spectrograph catches a narrow feature near 1.65 microns that appears for only 13 minutes and vanishes like it never existed. One feature never proves anything, but timing like that feels like a tap on the glass, because if it repeats, it turns from a glitch into a signature. Now comes the scale moment that makes your brain stop resisting. To get a 6-hour stall in apparent motion without a plume, the simplest sunlight-driven model demands huge area for very little mass. If the object carries on the order of 10,000 metrifuges of effective area with a mass under about $100,000 kilo, sunlight can nudge it enough to mimic the residuals. That's like a city bus in mass, but stretched into something the size of 2 basketball courts. But something that wide should flash like a beacon, unless it tilts. And tilting explains the 1.8 magnitude dip almost perfectly. Which makes the next question unavoidable. What decides when the tilt happens? A tumbling rock tilts randomly, but this object tilts on schedule. Here's the crazy part. The schedule lines up with a predicted thermal threshold where the surface temperature hits around 430 K, hot enough to change material behavior without screaming comet in gas. That gives nature a foothold. However, it also gives design a foothold, because design loves thresholds. Professor Mateo Alvarez at MIT Exoplanetary Systems says, "When timing locks to a threshold, I stop asking what and start asking who wrote the trigger." But even a trigger needs a mechanism, and mechanisms leave fingerprints. So they hunt for the fingerprint no natural model likes, modulation. They point radio dishes anyway, but they don't chase a message. They chase periodicity. They stack observations into 1-second bins, then 10-second bins, and they search for any repeating structure during the freeze. However, the noise floor drops and a faint pattern rises. A bump every 157 seconds, then silence, then a bump again. The detection hovers barely above 5 sigma, which tempts denial, but the timing matches the brightness dip edges within about 2 minutes. So the team faces a brutal fork: publish fast and risk embarrassment, or wait and risk missing the next window. Then the object shifts course, slightly, and that slight shift detonates schedules. A deviation of even 0.1 degree forces a new ephemeris and a new scramble for telescope time, but it also forces a quiet conversation about interception. Interception sounds simple until you compute closure speed. At roughly 38 km/s, a probe needs monstrous delta V just to wave as it screams by. However, gravity assists demand years of planning, and this object doesn't grant years. So agencies sketch a rapid response concept: a compact interceptor that launches within 30 days, rides a kick stage, and accepts a one-shot high-energy flyby. That sounds cinematic, but the math turns it into a single chance to measure everything, and single chances make humans do reckless things. Now the calendar becomes a battlefield. If the next freeze repeats, the dataset upgrades from odd to pattern, and pattern demands an origin. But if the freeze shifts by even 0.9 minutes, it hints at feedback, not coincidence, like the object reacts to its environment instead of following a dumb internal timer. So drop your best theory right now. Does 3i Atlas run on volatile chemistry that hides its exhaust? Does it behave like a fragile reflective sheet that tilts at thermal thresholds? Or does it carry a trigger that listens to sunlight like a switch? Subscribe for the next pass, because this story doesn't end with an answer. It ends with a measurement that forces a new question. Next week, the black hole that eats itself. But first, the next freeze window decides whether 6 hours marks a glitch or a greeting.